So,
Yeah, yes, Aishwarya.
in the linear search, you told it is from searching is from top to bottom.
Hmm.
Can it be from bottom to top?
No, no.
Okay,
It always starts from the first row.
okay, only from the first row.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So in our last session, we understood about the system fields or system variables and also about the messages. So in today's class, let's understand about database statement categories. Okay, so here we have DDL, data definition language, then we have DML, data manipulation language, and DQL, data query language, and also TCL, transaction control language. Okay, so DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, and DQL and also TCL, right? So what is the use of DDL statements? DDLs are mostly used to create or modify or okay, so let's say okay, so DDLs are used to create or modify or delete the database object. Okay, so DDLs are used to create or modify or delete the database object. So in ABAP, we don't need to use DDL because we have strong alternative S11, right, or DDIC. So we either create the tables or delete or modify it using the create or drop or alter or rename. Okay, all this we do using DDIC. We don't have to use the DDL statements, right? We will never use them. Okay, so we have only using the S11 so far. Even we don't use this. Okay, we cannot write create statement to create database table in ABAP. It is not possible. You have to use S11 only. The next is DML. Okay, so DMLs are used to modify the data which is stored under database table. Okay, so DMLs are used to modify the data stored under the database table. Okay, like insert, delete, update, modify. Okay, so these are the statements that we have under DML. Okay, so we will understand about them. And in the DQL, it's data query language, we have select. Okay, and under the TCL transaction control language, we have commit and rollback. Okay, these are the two transaction control languages we have. Okay, so let's understand about the DML statements. Insert is used to insert any or insert the data to database table. Okay, this is used to insert the data to the database table. Okay, so let's see that in the system. We will log in and we will see how it works. So let's go to SC38 and then here created some table, right? Okay, so this is the table that we created. Okay, what we will do now, we will try to insert some data to this. Okay, first of all, to insert the data, we will create some internal table on work area, IT underscore SOH sales order header HDR B20, something like this will declare, and type table I want, table of this. So work area underscore type work area underscore SOH DR B20 hyphen. Maybe we will have some more columns. Let's fill this. Okay, then after that, here equal to then here, right? Let's fill some value to this. Sales order number maybe 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 5 0 9. Sales org CS01 or okay, and then here do pretty printer and let's store this data in an internal table. So append work area underscore this to IT underscore internal table. Okay, So like this, let's store few more records. 509, 50, 510 and 511. Okay, 511. So maybe the first one I'll show you with work area. So if you want to directly insert the data to the table to be using work area, in that case you have to use same syntax, no difference. Insert table, this table from work area. Okay, so this is how we insert the data using work area. And if you want to insert the data from an internal table, in that case you have to use insert here, and then from table you have to use. Okay, let's do pretty printer. And also if you want to apply the changes to the database, then you also have to commit it. Okay, so it is used to commit the changes to the database. Okay, so let's say if without using commit, data will not be saved in the database. Okay, it will be stored in temporary table, and the moment you say commit, the tables will get updated. Without commit, it won't update. So rollback is used to roll back the changes made to the database. Okay, rollback is used to roll back the changes that is made to the database. That means whatever the changes that you have applied to the database, okay, you don't want to commit those changes. In that case you have to roll back. So that what happens whenever you try to insert the data will be stored in a temporary table. So the moment you say commit work, data will be copied from temporary table to the main table. Okay, so when you say roll back, the data will get deleted from the temporary table. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, let's say I say commit work. Okay, and do pretty printer. So let's activate and see what happens now. I'll keep the breakpoint saying it's not an internal table. Yeah, it should be. Check for an error, then activate. So now you see this data I'm going to insert. You see now I execute this statement. It executed successfully. Size sub bar is 0. And if you go and see in a table, the data you will not find. See, you're not able to find the data. Okay, let's do it for this also. You see again it is inserting, but still the changes are not happened in the database. If the changes should happen in database, what you should do, you should commit the changes to the DB. The moment you execute commit work, the changes will get affected in the table. Understood? This is what commit work is doing. Are we clear? Hello?
The two records have been inserted, 10 and 11.
The moment we do commit work, all the two records from internal table, and earlier we also inserted using work area, right? All 3 records got inserted, 509, 510 and 511.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Also understood the commit work?
Sir. Roll back I did not.
Roll back we will see now. Okay, so let's say what happens, this is a temporary table. Okay, so before you commit the changes, all the data will be stored in temporary, and this is a main table, right, where your data will be stored permanently. So this is a temporary table, this is main table. So when you execute any of this statement, the data will get stored in the temporary table. Here. Understood? The data will get stored in the temporary table here. Is this clear to you, all of you? Right? This is where the data will get stored in a temporary table. So now when you say commit work, the data will get copied from temporary table to the main table, and it will get deleted from here. That is what commit work. Okay, so when you want to roll back, you don't want to update the main table, you just have to delete it from the temporary table. To do that, you are saying rollback. If you don't want the changes to happen, in that case you have to roll back, right? So you are going to delete it from the temporary table. Are we clear now?
So
Yes.
you're creating in the database layer. It should be in the application layer, right?
No.
The temporary table will be created in the application layer. Correct, Nas?
1 minute. Just thinking how to show this. Is there any way? And now you understood the use of insert statement, right, all of you? This one you don't worry, function models, we will see that later. Since I was not getting the table for this, I used. Okay, so let's continue, and there should be one more inserts table. Okay, so rollback will delete the changes from the temporary table, so it will not use the data to update the main table. Okay, so that is what the rollback will do. Commit will update the changes to the database. Okay, if I use rollback here instead of commit work, there will be no changes to the database records. Okay, that is what rollback will do. Let me uncomment this also, and let me show you now. Okay, so 512 I want to delete. Okay, the next one, instead of delete, maybe we'll see update. Okay, it is used to update the existing records of the database table. Okay, it is used to update the existing records of the database tables. Okay, if you want to do some modification, let's say the order type of this material, you want to change it from OR to ZOR. Okay, something like that. In that case you can use update, everything same. Okay, just the keyword, and maybe this rows you want to update it to again to the ZOR. okay, and maybe this one to the CS02. Okay, update. So here I'll do rollback, and here we will do commit work. Which one will get affect the database table row, we will see. Let's activate and keep the breakpoint here. Some issue. Check for an error, then activate. Let's execute. So now you see I'm trying to actually modify the value of order type of 512 sales order to ZOR. If I do rollback, the changes should not be reflected in the database. Okay, so SE16N, and the table is ZSOHTR P20, and the material is 512. Okay, there should be no changes to this row because I'm doing rollback. See, I did rollback. If I go and refresh, there is no changes. That means you're just deleting the data from the temporary table. So now again, here I'm trying to update this as sales org as CS02 for 514, and for this one ZOR for 513. So after updating, right now there are no changes. You can see 513 and 514. The moment I execute the commit work, okay, you should be able to see the changes. You see the changes are happened. Understood now what rollback will do? Understood or not? Also the update statement. Update is used to modify the existing records of the database table. That's all. Next one is modify. So modify used to, or else let's say modify will work like insert and update if record of table already exist in the database table with same key field values, then it will work like update if record not exist, it will work like insert. Okay, if record already there in the database with the same key field values, then it will work like update. If records are not there, then it will work like insert statement. It do both jobs. Okay, so let's do one thing now. If you see here, we have 514. Okay, we'll try to modify 514, and also one more material we'll have as 515. Okay, let me comment this. We'll use only internal table, same syntax only, no difference. You have to use from here. If you are using work area, you have to use table if it is an internal table. So for 515 I'm going to add, but 514 what I'm going to do, I'm just going to modify it to CS01 and this to USD. Okay, 514 is already there, but 515 is not there. Okay, so this one will be get inserted to the database table, so this one will be updated. Okay, when we use modify statement. So let's use modify. All syntax remain same. I'll just comment this statement. Do pretty printer, then activate. Let's execute. So now you see there is no changes to the database as of now. Oh, it got, no, there is no changes to the database as of now. Okay, so the moment commit work statement executed, observe 514 is there, it will only update the values. 515 is not there, it will insert it. See, 515 was not there, it is inserted. 514, it changed the value, this one to OR and also to the USD. Understood? Are we clear on this, all of you? How modify will work? Hello? Okay, the last one is delete. Delete is used to delete the records from database table. So let's see, it should delete 514 and 515 from the database table. 514 and 515 from this table. Okay, let's activate and execute. IT sales order header batch 20 I'm going to delete. So after doing commit work, the changes happens to the database. See, right now still 514 and 15 exist. I execute the commit work. The moment the commit work statement executes, you see it got deleted. Okay, delete is used to delete the records from the database table. So any doubts so far? Anybody, any doubts so far?
Sir, can you just rephrase this rollback once again?
Okay, so what happens whenever we try to execute any DML statements?
Okay.
Before storing the data to the database table, so those will get stored in a temporary table, global temporary table. Okay, so when we do commit work, this data will be copied to the main table, right? If we don't need to update the main table, then the data will remain in the temporary table. So to delete that data from the temporary table, we have to do rollback. Understood?
Okay.
Understood, right?
Okay, yeah.
So because if we don't need data, we don't have to store the data in the temporary table also. If you could see here what happened, I showed you one table, right? There was no rollback statement, but there is a problem, there was some problem, right? Some problem happened, and if you could see, those function models still stored in the table only, those are not got deleted. See, issue happened, right?
Yeah.
It was throwing some error.
Yes.
You see, it's not been deleted from the temporary table. So this is a global temporary table actually for update function models. So to delete this kind of temporary tables data, we have to do rollback if we don't need the data. You see, this is a temporary table.
Okay.
It should not have any data because we should do proper rollback. Otherwise, this table data will get updated every time if here changes are not committed to the main table. If it is committed to the main table, then definitely it will delete from the temporary table. But if it is not, then then it will be stored in temporary table only. To delete that, we have to do rollback.
Okay.
Understood?
Got Yeah, got it.
Okay, depends on error. Like let's say if you have 10 statements executed and out of 10 one statement failed, in that case you don't have to do changes to the database, right? You just have to roll back all the changes. So then do rollback. So if all successful, then do changes, then commit the changes to the DB.
Okay.
That's all. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then that's all guys for today. Thank you for your time. We'll connect tomorrow and discuss about select statements. Bye bye and take care.